Today I'm with Peter Robbins and we are talking about the Battle of the Ballroom competition that we are participating in. We talk about dance as a wellness hack and showing your kids how to push themselves outside of their comfort zones. Hey there, and welcome to the Cinnamon Effect podcast. I'm your host, Kimberly Hand, and I'm thrilled to have you with me on this vibrant journey of discovery and growth. This podcast is your go-to space for embracing intention, where you'll find clarity on your unique path, deepen those meaningful connections, and unleash your creativity like never before. We'll explore how to build unshakable confidence and celebrate the beauty of gratitude, all while savoring the calm that consistency brings to our lives. Thank you for being with me. Let's sprinkle a little cinnamon into your day and make life sweeter, healthier, and more fulfilling. Welcome to the Cinnamon Effect, Peter Robbins.
Hello.
You're in the hot seat today.
I know. How hot is it going to be?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, we'll see what happens.
I love that we're sitting here together because I kind of roped you into a ballroom dancing competition.
You did, didn't you? And yet, here we are. I'm still talking to you.
I know, right? You're still my friend.
Yeah. We'll see how we feel after the performance. But for now, we're still good. We're still good.
We are on the same parent association at our children's school.
Right.
And we were in a meeting, and a couple days before I'd been approached to be in this competition.
Yes.
And I'm sitting in the meeting and they're like, we really want to get men involved. We need a couple of male participants. So I'm sitting in the meeting and I'm like eyeing you, Peter.
You knew it.
I'm thinking this could work. Mm-hmm. So I did what any other woman would do. And I reached out to your wife.
You asked my wife first, right?
And she was like, oh my God. She was so excited, I feel like.
Now, she said yes on my behalf.
She did.
Did you think I was going to say yes, or you thought maybe not?
I had a better chance going to her,
you did,
obviously. Yeah. But I did think you'd be a good sport about it.
Yeah. And look, it was an easy decision, if I'm being honest. Yeah, I figured why not, right? I think it's funny, I thought about this, and I'm a conservative decision maker, right? I want to think about things. I want to take a minute and understand, what am I getting myself into, right? I'm not gonna just jump. But this felt like fun, felt like a great opportunity to learn. I would be partnered with a professional, right? So I'm not being thrown into the deep end of the pool by myself, go swim and figure it out. It's like, hey, let's put your toe in the water, then let's put your ankle in the water, and we're going to help you learn how to do this. So I said, why not? And here we are. Gosh, I've been taking lessons now for 4 or 5 months already.
Yeah, it's gone fast, right?
It goes fast, yeah. So it's been fun so far.
What was lesson number one like?
You know what? I didn't know what I didn't know. I was so brand new that I'm just sort of showing up, having no idea what to expect, right? And my professional instructor, my dance partner, was great about talking about the journey first and this is kind of how it's going to go. We're going to start really basic, just learn a couple things, and we'll build on the routine. And the goal is to have it done, 6 weeks early. So then we're just fine tuning. So I kind of was able to put together that mental roadmap of how I was actually going to do it and how I would build and learn the dance, which helped me a lot. Her name's Carla. I don't know if she could kind of read my mind and be like, this is how he's going to learn. But she was great about just kind of sketching it out for me and being like, here's some milestones we want to hit. Here's some important things. So I was nervous, right? I don't know that I'm sure I'd been in a dance studio, but it was more like taking my little sisters to dance when I was a kid and old enough to drive. It wasn't about me.
Yeah.
So it was different being the one in the spotlight and having to learn and kind of go through it.
I love that. I love that Carla probably read you pretty well. You're maybe more analytical and thinking how you want to know step by step, how this is going to progress.
Right.
How did you choose what type of dance? So to give you a little background, it's a ballroom dancing competition that is, you are choosing music that is off of Broadway.
Right. It's off of Broadway.
So it's ballroom, but Broadway.
Right.
Which for me, that's different. That's two different worlds kind of blending together. So that was okay, I've never really taken ballroom. I had taken actually a lesson or two, never really done ballroom. But then you've got this Broadway aspect of you're choosing a song from a show.
Right.
That's not really pertaining to ballroom dancing. So my wires were crossed. I was I don't know, how's this going to go,
Honestly, Kimberly, I didn't know enough to to know what to pick or even where to start, right? I'm so brand new to this world. And that's why it's been fun for me. I went to my trusted ally, ChatGPT, and I did. And I said, I'm in this dancing competition. It's part ballroom, part Broadway. I don't really know what songs would be good, right? And I needed a song that was fun and upbeat and involved some technical steps, but wouldn't overwhelm me, right? That had some moments where I could have a little more fun and more on like the theatrical Broadway side than the technical ballroom dancing side. So I had a couple ideas, a couple of them were already taken. So like, I was like, you know what? This is a good list. If somebody else took one, that means I'm in the ballpark here,
yeah,
right?
You're in a good space, yeah.
So Carla asked me to think about the song Money, Money from Cabaret.
Okay.
Which is kind of just a fun, kind of a little bit kooky song where there's some theatrical parts to it. And she made like a different cut of it that was about 2.5 minutes long. And I said, you know what? I'm in your hands here. Let's try it. Let's go.
So Cabaret is your show.
The song,
Money, Money.
Money, Money, right? Which is, I think if you don't know it off the top of your head, when you hear it, you'll probably recognize it and be like, oh yeah, okay, I know this one.
Yes.
So yeah. What about you? What was your thought process?
So mine was, gosh, I came in, like I said, I grew up dancing, but ballroom dancing is very different, I find. So I think my husband had surprised me years ago, probably when we were engaged, with ballroom dancing lessons.
Oh, nice.
So we had actually gone and done a couple lessons, and I'll never forget the instructor being like, stop leading. You need to let him lead.
Okay.
And I have a tendency to want to take over.
Right.
in dancing and be like, I think I'm just, because I'm thinking and I'm like, I want to do the thing. And if he doesn't know what the thing is, like, I want to get to the thing,
This is where we're going. Yeah.
This is where we're going. But we ended up doing pretty well. In fact, when we went on our honeymoon, we went to Argentina and we learned the tango.
That's cool.
The Argentine tango in Argentina.
That's amazing.
And so that was really special and fun. And actually, that woman, because this was like way before Instagram, or like, I don't know, right around the time I think Instagram was coming out, but I just recently connected with her and I was like, oh my gosh, like that still was one of like such a core memory, learning the
amazing.
tango.
Yeah.
And we went to an Argentine like dance club and we like did the tango that we had learned, which was very cool.
That's really awesome.
So I was kind of thinking like maybe tango would be my dance, but I ended up with the cha-cha, and my Broadway musical is Moulin Rouge.
Oh, nice.
And
okay.
it's a little bit of a compilation, like it kind of cuts from different parts of the musical. So there's like Lady Marmalade, which, from the movie.
Sure.
So very fun, very flirty, I would say, is
nice.
like my...
And you're not leading, right? You're letting your partner...
I'm not leading.
Okay.
Well, actually, no, it's funny because we do a couple of like lifts and stuff.
Oh, wow.
Some tricks.
Okay.
And he's like, you've got to just let me like pick you up. Like you can't help me. You have to just let me do this. And I'm like, okay, it takes some trust.
It takes some trust, I'm sure.
Yes, because in one of them, I'm like completely upside down. I don't want to give too much away, but
oh wow,
I was like, oh wow, like I don't even think my eyes are open when I'm doing it. Like I don't know what's going on.
It's like getting on a roller coaster. You're just like, here I am.
Hopefully
it goes well.
and find out. Then I find out a little bit later on. He's like, this is actually like an ice skating partner move, not really a dance move.
Interesting.
It's not really a ballroom move. So I'm like, okay.
Oh, great.
Now we're doing like
Sign me up.
Ice skating thing,
So you're going to be upside down for part of it?
Yeah.
So if I'm upside down in my routine, that's a problem. Yeah. Like, that is not by design. That means we've gone off the rails.
That means you're copying.
That's right. Like, let me try that.
I know. And I have not seen, actually I saw one other of our competitors practicing, but I haven't seen really anybody else's routine.
Nor have I.
Oh, you haven't either?
No.
Okay.
No. It's just, it's not that they're trying to, be secretive about it. I just haven't happened to see it.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a good thing. I don't know if I would feel intimidated. Like if I saw you doing a lift and being upside down, I'd be like, yeah, I'm out. I'm quitting. I'm clearly not at that level. But look, one of the things I love about this is it's all different levels. It's people of different backgrounds, right? Mm-hmm. So like you have this a little bit in your DNA, right? Dancing and doing it for enjoyment, for fitness, whatever a case may be. For me, it's kind of brand new.
Yeah.
It's fundraising, right, for the Maltz Theater, which is a community theater, has great educational programs. So
Yes.
in that sense, it's one team, right?
Yes.
Which is a fun way to kind of learn and get engaged in all this.
Yes. So that's the other element to it. It's like you're learning dance and you're choosing a costume and you're doing, which I still don't have a costume.
Nor do I.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
No, not yet. We have an idea of a costume. We just don't have it yet. Yeah.
That's been a little bit of a source of stress for me because I've been ordering different things, but I kind of waited too late to get a ballroom dress.
Okay.
You need like 6 weeks.
Oh.
I would have had the time, but I wasn't even thinking I needed to order it so early. And so I kind of missed the boat on that. And now I'm trying to like piecemeal maybe some different ideas together.
You'll get it.
I have ordered a lot of stuff and I'm taking it to Serge on Thursday and I'm going to be like, Serge, like, what do we like here?
Narrow this down. Where are we?
Yes, where are we? It's multiple sizes of things and, trying to figure that out. So that is like a little bit of a source of stress. But we are raising money for the Goldner Conservatory, which is the kids program there.
Kids program.
And we're raising money for scholarships for kids.
Yep.
And so that's the no-brainer part of it all is like, yeah, why not? Why wouldn't we do this to raise money for the community and for the kids there? It's very, very special. They have an incredible facility.
It's amazing. Yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
They do They do vocal lessons. They do dance. They have a podcast studio.
They have a podcast studio, which I peeked in there and I was like, okay, I would like to, who's podcasting in here?
I know, right?
Let's
see what's going on.
Actually, I think Andrew Cato, who runs the
Maltz.
Maltz.
Yeah.
I believe he has a podcast. So
He probably does. Yeah.
He's probably talking about it. What do you think your kids feel? Or what do they think of Dad? Dad is stepping outside of his comfort zone and doing this. And so what do you think their thoughts are on it?
I think so far they're not quite sure like what it's going to look like. And, I think when they're obviously going to come to the performance. So I think once they see the lights are on and the costumes, it'll be a really cool experience for them. They've been great about it. They've been interested. They've been asking me questions. I've done some practicing in the kitchen and kind of showed them like pieces of the routine.
Love that.
And they think it's great. And, I have my son who's 12, he's actually taking some arts classes in school right now. So in something that's kind of like unintentionally very hilarious to me, we're both learning dance routines at the same time, him at age 12 and me a little older than 12, 29 and holding. So that's actually been like very fun. I've been like, show me what you're working on. And I show him what I'm working on. So it's kind of opened the door a little bit. Like I just never thought to take dance lessons, right? I just never, and honestly, this is something I said when I signed up for this. Like I was just very self-conscious about, even at a wedding or at a party, being out on the dance floor, right? I was like, everybody's going to be watching me and watching what I'm doing, and it's probably going to look like I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm just going to sit it out, right? This is a way to help me overcome that too. And once you kind of get that baseline confidence and you know a couple moves and you realize like, nobody really cares what you're doing out there. They're not studying you. They're just out there to have fun. It's kind of unlocked that for me. And I think it's great to like show that and model that in front of kids that like, you don't have to be self-conscious about 99.9% of things in life are going to be fine if you just give it a shot. And if you find out it's not for you at the end of that, then so be it, right? But at least you tried it and you weren't afraid to get out there and do it, right? You can sit against the wall, like literally be a wallflower at a dance, or you can try it and be out there. So this has helped me kind of overcome some of that and feel a little bit better too. So hopefully like that passes on to them too, not just about dancing or the arts, but just about life, right?
I totally agree with you. Maybe that's one of the things I'm most proud of is that I'm not afraid to try something different.
Yeah.
And I want to show my son that. And actually, we've had conversations about this. Well, remember when I was on the field, on the NFL field, back in November, I did the alumni game and I wasn't sure if I was going to do it. And I had to learn the choreography and he saw me practicing and he's seeing me practice again for this. And so he sees that first hard work goes into it.
Right.
It doesn't just happen. And I'm doing things that, yes, it is in my wheelhouse, but it's also taking me out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
It's a stretch. It's, dancing with a partner, which is totally different than dancing by yourself. And, just all the elements of it. I just want to show him, like you're saying, like, you know what? You just get out there and you do it and you try it. And who cares if you fail? Fine. But you've learned something along the way.
Yep.
And it may lead you to another place.
Right.
You know, another really cool, interesting hobby or thing that you want to do. So,
and I kind of blame like YouTube and Instagram and all that for I think younger people have this impression that you're just going to automatically be good at things. That's right. They see the highlight reels of people's lives on Instagram. On YouTube, they see, you know, trick basketball shots where the ball is bouncing off 4 different things and going in the hoop. And they think they did that on the first try. And to understand the importance of like putting in hard work and repetition is so important. I told my son last night, he was studying for a spelling test and he got it, or an adverb test, something. And he got it right once and he's like, I'm done. And I said, you don't study until you get it right once. You study until you can't get it wrong. Right. And that's a big difference. And it's the same way with this dance routine. Like I've done it once already correctly. That doesn't mean I stop practicing and getting better.
Right.
You practice until you can't get it wrong. And that's the difference between, you know, an amateur and a pro and somebody who, you know, wants to do the minimum and somebody who wants to really nail it and do the maximum. So it's hard. I don't know if you found that as a mom, but like kids expect to be good at everything on the first try a lot of times. And that's rarely the case in life. Usually you've got to put in the hard work to get better. So it's tough when you see that projected everywhere with, you know, with streaming and with, you know, just influencers and everything sort of looks perfect in their feed, but that's not the way it works.
And usually, my son and I had this very conversation last night about Mr. Beast.
Yes, Mr. Beast.
He's new to me, actually. I did not really know. I had heard his name and everything, but I did not really know a ton about him. And yes, everything looks instantaneous. But I tried to explain to him, I said, by the time that you see this person and they look like they're nailing everything and perfecting everything, they've been doing this for 10 years.
Right.
You know, I think Mr. Beast started 10 years ago.
Right.
You know, and everyone and all these influencers, they started with one view.
Right.
Everyone, you know, started with one view.
A first view, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So it was building. Because he's asked me too, well, how many downloads do you have of your podcast? Like he wants to compare me to 500 million downloads of Mr. Beast.
Right.
And I said, you know what? I said, I have such and such, but I'm building on this and it takes time.
Takes
and
time.
It's, you know, it's this whole journey. It's not, you know, you don't do something just because you know it's going to feel good when you hit 500 million views, right?
Right.
You do it because you enjoy the whole process of it, as long as it takes.
Right.
You know, it could take 10 years, 15 years, who knows, right? So,
and I find usually like when you start out something, and I thought about this as I learned the choreography for the dance routine I was doing. When you start out, you're so new that you kind of have confidence that you probably haven't really earned yet. You're just like, I'll figure this out. This is great. Then once you realize how complicated it is and the work it's going to be required to get it right, a lot of times you kind of have that, oh goodness, what did I get myself into moment where you actually, your confidence goes down and sometimes you get a little worse, right? Like it's the concept of beginner's luck. Like sometimes you have that beginner's kind of energy and then you get a couple lessons into something and you're like, I had no idea how complicated this truly is. And you go through a little rut, but it's going through that rut and coming out the other side that really feels good. And it's funny, I had another one of our mutual friends ask me, like when I was like 5 or 6 lessons into the dancing, like, are you having fun? And I said, no, I'm actually not. Like, it's not fun yet. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
And that's okay because I'm going to come through the other side and then it's going to be fun. And the reward is putting in the hard work. So that's typically the progression that people just don't realize or don't want to confront, right? They want to come out right at the pinnacle and think they'll have 1 million views on something overnight just because they happen to put it on YouTube. It's a different mindset and different culture, I feel like, that we're kind of fighting against sometimes.
Totally. Now, this would be an interesting question because do you think it's made you a more confident person? I mean, you think as like an adult male, like maybe your confidence level is where it's going to be and where it's going to live, you know? But do you think this has been like a confidence boost for you?
I would say so, yeah. Like I think, you know, as I go through life, there have been times where I've tried big new things and this is one of them, right? And it's that continued, it's a confidence boost that'd be like, hey, I can now do this new thing, right? I can now I'm going to get up in front of 300 people and perform this. But then like the next time we're at a wedding or a party, like I'm going to be way more comfortable dancing with my wife and being out on the dance floor. And that's great, right? What a fun thing to be able to do.
You guys go to a lot of
we
events.
go to a lot.
So actually, you're going to put your dance moves to work.
I already have it a couple. Yeah, I already have. I'm like, hey, let's go. Let's give this a try.
Emily and Peter are always out on the town.
But I think, every now and again, I've tried some of these big new things. And, I ran for public office, 7 years ago. Huge step out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Massive project and workload where, again, didn't know what I was fully getting myself into, right? You just sort of say, okay, we're going to go try this. And learned a ton, and it was a tremendous amount of work. After hearing for 10 years that I should try yoga because of back problems, I started trying yoga about 2 years ago. Huge life change, like understand my body way better and like much more able to manage things. So I think it's important to do that from time to time. Like, you can't say yes to everything. Mm-hmm. And there is comfort in trying things sometimes that you already know, right? Mm-hmm. We all have our favorite restaurant that you want to go to. You're not going to go to a different restaurant every single time you go out to eat and say, no, we've eaten here once, we're never going back again. So sometimes you want to do what's comfortable, mm-hmm. but you've got to blend that, I think, with things that are different and new and fun and help keep you learning and growing. So yeah, it's great. Like I've always wanted to be on a jury. I know that people call me crazy for that, right?
Interesting. Okay.
But I was on a jury a few years ago and was the foreperson and like sat through deliberations and did the whole thing. And I'm like, you know what? Awesome. Always wanted to like learn that and see what that was like. Got it. And same thing with this dancing through the Maltz, right? I love that it's benefiting them, but to be able to say, I tried something new and figured it out, right? And it's not a little thing. This is a pretty big thing. Definitely feels good.
Yeah. I mean, months and months, like you said, it'll be like 6 months when it's all said and done that we've been working on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Yeah. It really has been enjoyable so far. And it's funny, Carla asked me, she's like, are you going to be okay like that week?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I said, honestly, I think I'm going to sleep just fine. Like, because we're going to be ready.
I think that's a great lesson too, is preparation.
Yes.
And giving yourself the time to prepare for what you have to do.
Right.
It's a totally different story. I would be completely stressed out if I had waited till the last minute. I mean, yes, on the costume, I'm still a little stressed, but I know that I've got the dance down.
Right.
And I'm glad that I started when I did. So as soon as she had reached out, I was like, okay, let me get in the studio and get to work because I don't want to wait and I don't want to feel unprepared.
You kind of can't, I feel like, with this, unless you're just like, that's what you do and you're a dancer and you're just sort of naturally gifted, right? Mm-hmm. I think it takes time. My instructor's dancing with multiple people that night too. So I'm like, how are you keeping all this straight, right? But she's just coming at it at a different place than me. So
they're pros and they're amazing. Yeah.
Tell me, I was curious. I know how much you focus on wellness. How does dancing and this sort of movement like fit into your like wellness routine? Do you find yourself sort of doing it to relax, to help express yourself? Like where does it fit in for you?
I think it actually fits in so many different parts of life. Yes, physically, it's great. And I have actually seen my body change. It's interesting without really changing a lot of what I typically do and just putting the dancing in there. I've seen my body shift. And I don't know if it's like my muscle memory of being like, oh, well, you used to dance and now the body's going to try and shift back into like how it used to look or how it used to kind of be, I guess. But so I've noticed a shift in my like physicality. Also, I go to a chiropractor, Dr. Helia von Hool, who, and she was like, oh my gosh, your back is adjusting so much better since you've been dancing.
Interesting.
And so everything feels like looser and
more fluid.
And then I work with a trainer, Samantha Monis, and she says, oh my gosh, you're moving so much better. Your body, your body is taking shape in a different way. And it's just from this dancing being kind of this addition to my routine. But I will say the brain, learning the choreography and focusing on that. Right. And think about it as like a moving meditation because you're focusing and you're really in the moment. You have to be or else you're going to mess up. Right.
That's a good point.
So you're so in the moment with it. I've seen different studies where dancing, improves memory and it improves all of these things. So it really is so good for wellness. And look at Gail. Gail, who's running this whole competition, she's 80.
Right.
She started dancing when she was 60, ballroom dancing, and she is sharp as a tack.
Right.
Physically gorgeous dancer. She competes in Europe, ballroom dancing competitions in her beautiful gowns. Like, I'm so inspired by her because
that's a good point.
That is like a really good testament to what dancing can do. Yeah. She started it so much later in life, and like, look at her now. She's incredible.
I could see that, right? As I've done it, my balance has gotten a little bit better. My foot control has gotten a little bit better. And like, I see that with yoga too. Like, yoga made me a better downhill skier. I'm not going to win the Olympics anytime soon, but like, it gave me better balance and like better foot control and body control. And I think dancing does the same thing, right? And those are just such core things to have as we age and as we go through life, to be able to have more sort of balance and control is tremendous, right? You never know, like, if it's preventing you from slipping and falling somewhere or doing something that, you know, so I think that's really important. And I think between dancing and yoga, to focus more for me on like flexibility and knowing, like, if my back gets a little bit tight, how to loosen it up without just running straight for ibuprofen, right? Like, what stretches can I do? Like, what activities can I do to kind of like holistically take care of that has been great. So I never really put dancing into that bucket, right? Until I started trying it. And then I'm like, well, this has a lot of benefits, just again, about awareness and control and overall balance. Because as you know from dancing, right? Like, if you get your weight on the wrong foot, you're cooked, as the kids would say.
Yeah, you're good.
It's something that simple about like knowing where your weight should be and transferring the weight to get to where you need to go. Like, I had never thought that through before. And so it's a good kind of thing to build and grow awareness of. So
yeah, the body awareness, like you're saying, probably more difficult for men, but I don't know. I mean, I've seen some women that have zero body awareness too. Like, you're in a workout class, you're going this, like the whole class is going this way and they're going the opposite direction. You're like, what? So, and that is really important to have that spatial and body awareness, you know? Unfortunately, men, I think, neglect the flexibility aspect of fitness. You know, my husband is, yes, he works out, but he is tight. I mean, his whole body is tight, you know, and he's gotten better where he does do more stretching. But when I was in high school, actually, the football coach had all of his like star players take dance class. Great. And so I was in the dance class, and these guys they performed with us. Like, you know, at first, they're all dragging their heels. They don't want to do it. They're like, this is stupid, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then they are, you know, they're stretching their arms and they're doing these leaps. And the football coach, I believe his daughter took dance. And so he had this, you know, really unique perspective on it. And so these guys took dance for a whole year. They took dance with us for a whole year. He was telling us like how much it improved, you know, what they were doing on the field. So
their footwork and their balance.
Everything. Right. It was good for everything. And I just had my friend Maria Conrad, who is a world-renowned choreographer. She was in here and she was like, if you were going to hire anyone for a job, if you have a dancer and you have someone else, you're going to choose the dancer, because guess what? They're disciplined. You know, there's so many different aspects of a dancer that are like so amazing.
That's a good point, right?
Yeah.
Look, as I've done hiring in my job, there are times if somebody was like a college athlete, right? Or they had some outside of work hobby that required like discipline and practice, we absolutely consider that. So that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So think about that stuff, you know? Now, Peter, you are such a good dad. I know that I know I'm making like assumptions, but what I see of you and your involvement in the school life and getting the other fathers involved, I think is super special.
Thank you.
I'm not going to name the name of the school, but you are the man of this school. That's what we call you.
For better or worse. That's right.
For better or worse. So talk to me a little bit about, like, for instance, I just saw that you were building a dollhouse bed.
A doll bed, that's right.
A doll bed with your daughters. And you could have just gone out and bought a doll bed, right? But you wanted to kind of show them teach them a little lesson about this.
That's always been important to me. I have a son and 2 daughters. The daughters are younger. And yeah, I think, and my wife feels the same way. Like we want them to see us in their school volunteering and being active. We want them to see us volunteering outside the school, right? Because, here in Palm Beach County, like there's a lot of opportunity. We have a lot of very tremendous concentrated wealth in this county, but then there's a lot of poverty too, right here at home. So we want them to see us making differences in the community. And I love when my girls are willing to get their hands dirty too.
Yeah.
We go on a lot of nature hikes. We usually will bring a little brochure so they can check off like the plants and the wildlife that they see. And yeah, like every guy, I had like pieces of wood hanging around in my garage that have probably been there for 5 years or so. And I'm like, one day I'm going to use that.
Yeah.
And I had 2 very long planks and decided to make a little doll bed out of them and had the daughters with me on the whole journey. We sanded the wood down. We painted it, we measured out the doll bed and like drew a little schematic of what it would look like and how many boards and sections we would need and how we assembled it. I cut it. I didn't want them to cut it with it.
Yeah.
They're a little young to be using an electric saw. So I did the cutting, but from there, yeah, they helped me drill the holes and paint it and assemble it with screws and put it all together, and it's in one of their rooms. It is pink, so we painted it pink, which was nice.
It pink.
But look, I think
Love
those
it.
hands-on moments, I think what I tell people a lot is the kids, they don't really care necessarily about what it is you're doing and whether or not you're spending huge sums of money on them in their free time. They just want to spend time with you. And the simple things are the most fun for them a lot of times. They literally get just as much fun like going in the pool in the backyard or going to the beach as they would about a trip, right? They really, so sometimes it's just keep it simple. Like, what can we do together that will be a fun activity? And that was great. I post some things on Instagram, and that was one of them that I got a ton of feedback on. Because there were, my 5-year-old has my cordless drill, and I'm helping her like put in wood screws. And people are like, that's amazing. But she loved it.
Yeah.
And like, I hope they feel pride every time they look at it. So yeah, I do think it's important to be like very hands-on and look for fun projects you can do with the kids and be involved in their school and community in some way. And I'm sure you know this too, like just showing up and volunteering in the class for an hour, the kids love it. They get so excited. They're still young enough that they're excited, right?
Yeah.
Eventually they'll be embarrassed about it. But like if I go into my 5-year-old's classroom, I can tell she's told every other kid that morning, like my dad's coming to the classroom.
Yes.
Like she expects them to be excited too, which is, it's kind of funny. But yeah, look, I think that's important. The time goes by so quickly that you've got to make time, even if it's just an hour here, an hour there to volunteer in your kid's school and see them, doing a beach cleanup with them or whatever it is. I think it's great. They learn so quickly by watching what you do, right? You can say whatever you want, but they're going to watch what you do.
Yes.
So you've got to do the things you want them to do and kind of show them from an early age what you expect.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Be the example.
Yeah.
I was homeroom mom when my son was in first grade, and it was a lot of work, let me tell you.
I'm sure.
I was like, I could put this on my resume because this was a lot of work, but it was so special. And, every year he expected me to kind of be doing the same thing I did that first year.
That's
and
right.
I was like, well, but like other mommies have to have a chance,
That's
to
right.
do it. I wish I could. But, you realize now in fourth grade, like the times that you get to go in are so much less.
Yeah.
And I'm sure with your 12-year-old, like even less.
It starts to go down.
Yeah.
And yeah, so which is why you've got to build that up. And that builds the trust that hopefully carries you through those later years where their problems get a little bigger and they get into high school and different things start to happen, right? So hopefully those early years kind of build some of that trust and rapport that carries through because it's such a short amount of time.
I know it is. Makes me sad.
Don't get sad.
I don't want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. What else can we say about our competition?
Gosh, it's coming up soon. I know you're going to promote it in the notes on this show.
Yes.
You're going to put some information there.
Yeah, I'm going to put in the show notes. So there's going to be links. You can vote for Peter. You can vote for me.
You can vote for you.
You can vote for both of us.
Right. You can vote as many times as you want. It's great.
Yeah, vote as many times as you want. The money goes towards the kids and at the Goldner Conservatory here at the Maltz Jupiter Theater.
And it's such a great theater, right? I mean, I know you have listeners and viewers, kind of scattered around, but anybody in the north end of Palm Beach County, if you have not been to a production at the Maltz or kind of looked online, I mean, they have summer camps, right? So if summer's coming up, if you're looking for an activity for your kids, right? They have great different summer camps for all different ages. Really like just a true gem in the north half of Palm Beach County. And if you're in Martin County, it's an easy trip to get into to go to shows at the Maltz. So I've been to many over the years. Didn't think I would be in one, but here we are.
Here we are.
So,
and I think you said 300 people or something.
About 300, I feel like.
No, it's Peter. It's
more?
It's like 700,
I think.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I'm out. You just made me nervous. I'm out.
No.
I didn't realize it was that big.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
It doesn't feel that big, and I think that maybe that's what I'm thinking of, because there's like no bad seat in the house, and
right.
like no matter where you are, you feel like you're in the action practically.
I think I heard like 600 or 700.
Maybe it is.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and actually, I'll put the link in the show notes where you guys can come see also.
You can buy tickets.
You can buy tickets.
I know.
And there's like a fan favorite, so you can vote in person. I think the night of you get a vote.
You can vote the
right?
night of.
Is that my understanding?
Yeah. It's a fun event from what I've heard.
Yeah.
What is your feeling like right now? Got a couple more weeks. Just excitement.
Excitement. I got to get the costume because you know what? Here's my piece of advice on that is you have to practice in the costume.
Right.
In the shoes you're going to wear.
In the shoes.
You have to really get into what you're going to be wearing and act as if, like, put yourself in that position. Also, not practicing in front of the mirror is a whole nother thing.
Oh, that's right.
Like on the stage, you don't have a mirror. And
there's no mirror.
For me as a dancer, it does affect me. I'm like, oh, well, okay. I've got to get reacclimated with like how this feels when I'm not looking at myself in the mirror. So that's kind of a interesting tip.
That's a good point. I'm looking forward to practicing in the Maltz on the stage. I already told Carla that. I was actually like, could we start practicing over there now?
Yeah.
To your exact point, like you want to simulate it as much as possible.
You do. Bring yourself into the space and figure it out that way. I know.
When you practice and when you get ready for this, I'm still sort of thinking about the dancing as I'm doing it. You probably get into like that flow state.
I'm still thinking about it.
It's just happening. No, you're still thinking about it?
Oh, yeah. I'm still thinking about it. Choreography was never really my strong point.
Oh, okay.
Like remembering choreography. So that is, I would say, I think at this point I've prepared long enough. I'm I guess talking more where I wouldn't have a lot of preparation. I'd be learning something and then like I would feel like a little frazzled. But I think I've had enough time to prepare. And I'm also like, I don't count very well music.
Okay.
I mean, I can count, right? But I don't count the music very well. It's more musicality for me. So I can hear the beat. And everybody always tells me, they're like, you're so musical, but my counting system is just...
It's whatever works for you.
Yeah, so I guess maybe that's kind of the flow state that I'm in, is where I'm like with the music, I hear the music and I'm with the music and I'm not necessarily counting.
I'm starting to get there. I know what you're describing.
Are you? Okay. Where it's just kind of flowing and you're feeling at what moment you're going to do this with your arm or, right?
And you know where you're going based on where you are. Like when I was learning, I had this just fear in my head of like, do I know what the next step is?
Yeah.
So you know how you're almost like talking to yourself while you're doing an activity?
Yeah.
And that's what I was hearing in my head. I'm like, do I know what the next step is? And like, there's like a split second where I'm like, maybe I don't. Like, that's going to be bad if I get to this next part in 1 second and I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, that's right. I remember now.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like that inner dialogue of like, do I know what's coming next? Where my weight is supposed to be, what I'm supposed to be doing, was back when I told my friend, like, I'm not having fun yet. That's why everything was like inner dialogue of like, my left foot's got to go here. Then I've got to do this. Do I know what's after that? Now it's just more happening.
Yes. Which is great. That's progress.
It's way more fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's way more fun.
And just in the end, I think just have fun with it.
Yeah.
You know, that's like the main thing. And I told my son when I did this alumni game for the Miami Dolphins, I was a little nervous. I kind of signed up late and everything, and I got out on the field. And whereas, years ago when I was a cheerleader, I would overthink things and I would stress myself out and I would be so hard on myself if I made a mistake. And this time I just had fun. And I didn't make any mistakes because I think I was just having so much fun and I was so in it.
Right.
And so I told him, you know, when I saw him, I saw him before I got out there and I saw his face and he's excited and seeing me. You know, it's just so incredible for your kids to see you doing something that you wouldn't normally do and really pushing yourself like that. But just have fun with it. You know, that's my best piece of advice.
I think that's great. And I think I'm finally getting there. I really do. Like I have a lesson today, and whereas like I used to be dreading a lesson a little bit and like, what am I going to work on? What am I going to, now I'm just like, we're good. We're like the core is there. Just have fun with it. Let it happen.
Good.
So, and I agree. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
I'm glad I didn't drag you into something that's been torture.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Yeah, there were times I was like, maybe I should have said no to this at the beginning, right? And now, I'm so glad. So
good. It's a time commitment. I think that is, people have to really wrestle with that. Are they willing to put that time in? But so worth it. And so many people I had talked to that had already been in the competition, like they were like, it's going to be life-changing. Like it's a life-changing process, you know? And I'm going to continue to dance too.
Well, now, so now we need to turn the table. So I get to volunteer you for a 6-month activity that you have no experience in. And you get to perform in front of 700 people of my choosing. We should do that. We should flip that. We'll do that next year.
Okay,
Sounds great.
I'm in.
You're
in. I'm deal. Shake hands
deal?
on it.
I got to think of something now.
Let's do it. Okay, Friday, April 10th, Maltz Jupiter Theater. We're going to put the links in the show notes. Peter, what a pleasure.
This was great. Kimberly, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for tuning into this episode of The Cinnamon Effect. If you enjoyed our time together, don't forget to hit that follow button on your podcast app and sprinkle a little love by leaving us a 5-star rating and a quick review. Your support means the world to me. For even more goodness, check out the show notes where you'll find links to some of my favorite products. And don't forget to visit thecinnamoneffect.com to connect with me directly or to grab your TCE Gratitude Journal, your next step towards a more grateful life. I can't wait to spice things up with you again next time. Stay vibrant, stay inspired, and remember to add a little cinnamon to your life every day.